Hi, my name's Lindsay Bowles. I'm a sophomore and I have alopecia. What else? When I first started losing my hair, I went through a phase where I wore these really awful bucket hats. And I had a white one, I had a denim one, which was my favorite, and then I had a bright pink one. And then after I decided that those were just not super fashionable, I moved on to my bandanas, and I had over 100 bandanas, and I wore them and matched all my outfits. And I wore those from like 6th grade to the end of my sophomore year in high school. And then at that point, I had had no hair for so long. I don't have any eyebrows or eyelashes or any of that either, so I realized I wasn't fooling anyone by wearing a bandana. So junior year, I decided to just come to school without a bandana on. Only a few people were like, "Oh, you're not wearing bandanas anymore." I was like, "Yeah, I just decided not to." And they're like, "Oh, cool, like that's great, good for you." And I was like, people are responding well, so that was a big step. But yeah, looking back, this is a long journey. Coming into college, I was actually really nervous because there were a bunch of people from my high school, and actually for a while I considered wearing a wig just because, I didn't know anyone and I didn't know how anyone would respond, and I don't know, that was like actually really terrifying. But then I thought about it like logistically, like taking my wig off to shower, like getting dressed, like what if someone just walked into my room and I didn't have my wig on. So I knew myself, I knew that I wouldn't be one to wear a wig and like hide behind a wig every day. I thought about it, but then decided not to, so that was pretty scary. But actually, coming to Middlebury has made dealing with having no hair so much easier, because one of my friends, Jack, the first time I met him, pulled me into a different room and was like, "Why don't you have hair?" And I was so taken aback that he just like attacked me and was like, "Why don't you have hair?" And I told him it was alopecia, and he was like, "Oh, like I have it too on my legs." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like cool." And he made bald jokes, which other people sometimes are super uncomfortable about. He like calls me baldy, and I'm totally fine with it because it is like who I am, and I'm okay with being the bald girl. And I think it's funny to make jokes now, and I make people uncomfortable about it, but I realize that once people can make bald jokes to me, then we're in a good place in our friendship. So it was definitely really scary coming to college. All I know is that the people in my life have really helped me to be okay with myself, and also I've learned through other people's actions towards me that the appearances really are not what matters. It's how people treat you and who they are, and if they're a good friend or not, and that's all that really matters. What you see is what you get.